Hello and welcome to this demo session about Zerto Virtual Replication 5.0 and how to protect a virtual machine using Zerto Virtual Replication and to be able to recover to your disaster site. So in my environment I have two data centers, one in Hamburg and one in Darmstadt, both of them running a Zerto Virtual Manager, which are both paired to each other, and this looks like in the vCenter. So we got a Ubuntu MySQL server running here, and this is the one I'm going to protect to Darmstadt. In order to do that, I go to the Zerto GUI and start the Create VPG wizard. I will enter a name for the VPG, and it helps if you have speaking names. So in this case I name it like the application which I want to protect or the service. In the next screen I can select the virtual machines. It could be one or many. In this case, I keep it with this one MySQL server. Go to the next screen, choose my recovery site. Let's say it's going to Darmstadt, but it could also be a target in the cloud. My default recovery server is this one, and the default data store is data store 1. Besides those defaults, I could also have the ability to select a different data store if required. So that helps you to protect multi-VM applications into different storage resources or server resources. In the next step, I define the journal history. This means how long will I keep the checkpoints before they get written into the replica disk. If I set this to 1 day, I will have 1 day of journal history. It could be up to 30 days or as less than 1 hour. Here I could also select different storage locations for each disk inside a protected VM. So it could be that I replicate my SQL database disk to an SSD data store, while I have another disk on that server replicating to spindles. And I can also select a temp data disk, which means after the initial synchronization we will spare out that disk of replication. So if it's only temporary data on it, we still need the disk on the recovery side and it will be there, but the content of the disk will not longer be replicated after the initialization has been done. Now I select the networks which I want to use for either a failover or a migration, so the live failover, and another one for failover testing. Zerto can do non-disruptive failover testing just by selecting a different network for the failover test. This means you can still run your production VMs, and at the same time you can do a failover test into this isolated network, so that the failover test VM does not interfere with your production environment. And this is a very, very easy way to get non-disruptive disaster recovery. We also can issue some scriptings here if required. I will skip it for now and move to the network interface section, where I can specify for each adapter a different failover IP or failover test IP if required. And I can also change MAC addresses and DNS servers, gateways, etc. I can also enable a backup for that VM. So if I do this, it will have a scheduled independent third copy of that virtual protection group, and I can define how long I want to have the retention for this backup and the schedule. And this is for longer term archiving purpose beyond those 30 days of journaling. This is the summary screen. We just can verify that all the settings are correct. And now I click done, and this will create the target disks in the DR data center. We will then initialize the disks, which means it copies everything from the source into the target. And once this is finished, it will start this continuous replication. So you see how easy it is to create a VPG, and once the creation is done, it will start synchronizing, and after synchronization we come back. So now the synchronization has finished and the application is protected continuously with creating checkpoints currently at each 11 seconds. So this is everything which is required to fully orchestrate a failover, because all the settings we have taken, they define the orchestration of a failover with Zerto, and now we are ready to to do failover tests, migrations and live failovers at any time and fully automated. Thank you for watching this and see you next time.